Really now, asking me to walk all this way, if this wasn't about a once-in-a-century find.
Huh? We've only walked a few steps away from Bantan Sango's storefront, haven't we?
It's not a storefront.
Eh?
Bantan Sango is my house of wisdom. The world comes to Bantan Sango, not the other way around.
There it is. Number 7 of the lines that President Sango wishes she could say someday. But since cases tend to come to her, she's never had a chance to say it.
Hey, you don't have to say so much, Ryuuji.
Anyway, regarding Tsurumi Island.
Oh, you're here! Let me introduce you. This is the renowned Lumine.
You can, skip the renowned bit.
And Paimon's Paimon.
Ah, so this is the legendary Lumine.
And I'm legendary too?
Well, your deeds have far surpassed the domain of your average adventurer. That's for sure. Indeed, your adventures are what all adventurers' dreams are made of.
Right, let's get to the point. The reason I've asked everyone to gather here is to exchange information about Tsurumi Island. My latest work
Is to unravel the secrets of the island.
It seems that we could count on you after all, Lumine.
Agreed. You certainly do have good judgment, being able to prevent Miss Sumida from going off topic like that.
Paimon feels a bit sorry for Miss Sumida.
Sorry. Well, to get back to the point, out of all the people affected by incidents related to Maushiro that should have been found going missing, I was only able to find the detectives from Bantan Sango and Mr. Roald.
Yes, we are aware of the request, alongside the unrelated plot lines of several different light novels, as well as the narrative you are currently working on. It is also true that we were unable to successfully retrieve the Maushiro.
Well, I'll solve the mystery for you. Ryuuji must have misplaced it.
Not at all. I did lose my way many times after arriving on Tsurumi Island, but I did eventually find a Maushiro in an open area on the island.
You must be speaking of the ceremonial site.
As for the details, I no longer remember them well. Every time I try to do so, it's as if there's a fog in my head that prevents me from remembering the details of what occurred on Tsurumi Island.
Could it be that the fog that shrouds the island found its way into Ryuuji's head after he breathed too much of it in?
Well, here's what I experienced. At the time, I was trapped on Rito with no way to cross the checkpoints. This was when Miss Sumida contacted me and commissioned me to help her go to Tsurumi Island to gather reference material and look for a Maushiro. I had my doubts when I boarded Kama's boat, but as it turned out, he was actually able to avoid detection and bring me safely to the island after all.
So you don't have a permit, Mr. Roald?
Shh, come on now, these less than legal dealings need not be spoken of so loudly.
Kama's really something, huh?
As long as it's asked of him, Kama will get it done. But if you don't ask him, he won't do anything.
Like Ryuuji, I fear that I can't remember much about what occurred. I took Kama's advice and walked through a large gateway into the fog, and I met a friendly child. There was some sort of ceremony as well.
A kid, you say? Was his name Rue?
Rue? I don't quite remember. We did make the trip in a hurry after all. Why, I even left my diary behind in Rito. The records clearly state that what civilization once existed on Tsurumi Island has been utterly destroyed, and yet there was still a child there. I could have sworn that after a few other hurdles, I did finally get my hands on a Maushiro.
Could have sworn?
Well, it does seem that Roald reported back to Sumida, convinced that he had brought the item in question, while the truth was that he didn't have it. Could have sworn does seem to be the operative phrase here.
I'm very sorry. That's why I write diaries, you know, to compensate for my untrustworthy memory. Well, I say that, but I do often lose those very diaries as well. So there you go.
You know what? We've discovered quite a lot of journals and diaries out in the wild. Does that mean there's a ton of people with poor memories out there in the world?
To be honest with you, what concerns me most about these incidents isn't the missing Maushiro, but the fact that you met locals on Tsurumi Island at all. According to the Tales of Distant Seas, there can be no doubt that Tsurumi Island was utterly destroyed several millennia ago. The monstrous bird of thunder was slain by the Electro Archon upon Amakumo Peak in Seirai Island. That's why the Asase Shrine was built, to suppress the leftover power of that giant bird.
Wait, is this the Thunderbird we've heard about in the past?
President Sango, this doesn't have anything to do with the case.
No, it does. Although I've never gone to Seirai myself, the fallout from the Thunderbird's death resulted in the strange phenomena that can be found on Amakumo Peak. When you add this together with the existence of ley line disorders, which have since become common knowledge as well, only one conclusion remains, and thus it must be true, that the strange occurrences that you experienced must be related to Tsurumi Island itself.
Huh.
You know, this is all very fascinating.
But it won't be of any help. At least it's interesting, right? You really do know a lot, Sango.
Of course, I am Sango of Bonton Sango Detective Agency after all. If you wish to take on matters of all sorts, then you must have knowledge of all sorts.
I do also feel that this gathering hasn't resulted in any meaningful conclusions, though. Other than Mr. Roald and Bantang Sango, all the others I contacted believe that Tsurumi Island had some unique ley line disorder, or that it might even be haunted. None of them were willing to involve themselves any further. Perhaps I should take the commission back. Maybe the writer's life is not my destiny after all.
No, that won't do. After hearing you say so much about the chronicles of the Sea of Fog, Miss Sumida, Paimon's now very, very curious to know what happens next.
As a detective, I do not believe in such things as destiny. Everything happens for a reason, and all occurrences follow their own unique logic. Destiny doesn't come into it at all.
As long as we can find out what happened.
Then we can... Actually, you know what? What are we doing this for again?
To encourage Miss Sumida, of course.
No, that can't be it.
We're here to find the Maushiro and give it to Miss Sumida to finish the commission, aren't we?
That's right! If she cancels the commission now, we'd have run around the whole place for nothing.
That's the most important bit, huh?
Well, just leave it all to us, Miss Sumida.
You're right. It's early days yet to be giving up. Even the great Takizawa Kyoden muddled through life for 33 years before he read the...
Miss Sumida, you're welcome to share your writing anecdotes next time you commission us. But for now, we shall take our leave.
Yep, I'm tired. Bonton Sango's courtyard is still the best.
And as an adventurer, I feel obligated to challenge the fog over Tsurumi Island once more. Well then, let us meet again in the island's depths, Lumine. Ad Astra Abysosk.
Looks like I need to improve my social skills on top of my writing ones, huh?
Aw, cheer up. Don't worry about the whole Maushiro thing. We'll get it done. Kama said we'd have to pass through that big gate. Huh? Isn't that Rue?
It's you! Lumine and Paimon, too! You went missing earlier. I thought that you'd ended up like all the others.
Others, you say?
That's right. I met other Outlanders before as well. But they all went missing, and then they never came back. There was a man in green and another guy who called himself a detective. I wonder what happened to all of them.
Huh. Those people sure sound like Roald and Ryuuji, don't they?
They're both fine.
We met both of them just a while back.
Oh, that's good. I was afraid that they'd gotten lost in the fog or gotten eaten by those monsters that looked like dogs.
Ah, that won't happen. They've got the skills, you know. Well, sorta. Still, we did encounter a whole lot of weird stuff after splitting up with you, Rue. We don't know where the Maushiro we found's gone either.
The Maushiro? You should still have it on you, I think. I can feel its power on you.
What?
I once heard Grandpa Mata say,
When darkness blanketed the world, the Thunderbird dispersed a mysterious fog to defend Tsurumi Island. But the people within the fog could not see the sun, the moon, or the stars, nor could they see their relatives, friends, children, or the Wen Kamui they had domesticated and raised. Then, the Thunderbird, like a blazing violet comet, took flight from the hollow Mount Kana. When the first priest heard the sharp sound of wings piercing the skies, they picked up the plumes of the Thunderbird. When they blew upon these sturdy feathers, they would hear a melodious sound. Thus, people used this to communicate their location to others through the fog, and to guide those who were lost to them. Even later on, people would use wood to imitate these sounds.
So the Thunderbird's feathers were the original Maushiro?
that's right. I can feel that same sort of power from you, I guess?
Huh, speaking of feathers, Paimon's reminded of something.
Back at Amakuma Peak.
Oh, that's right! That did happen! Huh? Looks like something's shining! Wow!
That's kinda spooky.
Yep. These feathers are the best kind of Maushiro around.
That said, Paimon doesn't think this is what Miss Sumida's looking for.
Man-made Maushiro do not have this kind of power, but since this is the original form of such Maushiro, it should have some special abilities. Perhaps you can even see the spirits of the dead.
That's kinda hard to believe. Well, Paimon says that, but we've done all kinds of weird stuff many times before anyway.
Let's try using it! Come with me! Try using that feather of yours over here.
Paimon's getting nervous. It's like that time with Dusky Ming.
Well, then we got nothing to be afraid of, right?
Huh, you're right. Paimon's sorry, Dusky Ming.
Ah, it's Big Brother Kama. I wonder how he's doing now.
Eh? Kama?
I'll bury this here. This is where we met each other after all. I'll leave the Maushiro that I couldn't pass to you then over here. If I wish to bid this, whatever this place is, farewell, I can't bring anything with me. That's what you told me before you left.
So he's left Tsurumi Island already? I hope he's doing alright. Well, Today's the day of the ceremony, so we shouldn't dwell on unhappy things. I've made an agreement with Kapatcir that I'll go see her soon. Everyone's going to help me get ready too, so I've gotta go. Thanks for helping me out with the purchase. With your help, the ceremony is sure to go great this time.
Of course!
If you don't mind, could you help me look for Grandpa Mata at the ceremonial site? Even though our purge problem has been solved, there are other things we need help with. The ceremony is a very important event after all. Lots of preparations need to be done first.
Huh, is that so? The last time we went to make an offering at the purge, she was gone.
Gone? No, this is such an important ceremony. There's no way he'd leave it half done. I mean, it's nothing. In any case, please help me out.
What do you think, Lumine?
Sure. I'm fine with it.
Thanks, you two. Well then, let's meet again later.
Speaking of which, Lumine, let's try digging up the spot where Kama buried some stuff just a moment ago.
This is the Maushiro.
Does that mean the commission's complete?
Probably.
Anyway, since we gave her our word, let's head over to the ceremonial site and have a look. No take-backsies with kids, remember? Paimon doesn't want to become a lousy adult.
You count as an adult.
Well, compared to being a kid, Paimon sure is closer to being an adult.
I mean, Dusky means a kid, but she is pretty old, you know?
Counting is hard. Let's just skip the details, shall we? Well, since we gave her our word, let's head over to that altar. Eh? There are people here? Well, since Rue said so, let's see what they've got to say.
Maybe I just wish that all will go well with him. It's been so long since I've seen him.
Who knows? Now that I think about it, I pity him. Sayo left him behind and left the Sea of Fog. I'm afraid. Doesn't seem like we can be of any help here.
That's just weird. And the priests on the drawings up there don't look like Grandpa Mata or the others at all.
Yeah, it's super weird. Hey there!
I've got a guess.
They're not paying us any mind. At all. Paimon's gonna get mad.
We might as well listen in.
It's time for Big Brother Kito's wild guesses. Alright, what you got this time?
These murals depict a time before the Sea of Fog. A long, long time ago. There was no fog over the world, so everyone could see what was up there. Up there, they could see these round and pointy-shaped things, and these mountain-like things. That's why these ancient murals look the way they do.
That's some imagination you've got there, Kito. But not a word of this to Grandpa Mata or Granny Una. We'll be in for an earful otherwise.
Yep, I know.
Round and pointy-shaped things. Are they talking about the moon and stars depicted here on the mural? The fog's so thick here, it's no wonder that they couldn't see them. So the children of Surumi Island thought this way, huh? Paimon wonders what else they believed.
I hope that... No. The Great Thunderbird will surely be pleased with the ceremony this time. After all, this is the only child that she has shown favor to in all these years.
Eminent Priest, Rue has yet to arrive.
This is the final day. Let him wander for a little while longer.
But the Great Thunderbird has already returned to Mount Kana.
Is that so? Then truly, our time is limited.
Is there anything we can help with? Rue's our friend.
Well then, Wakukao, Oina, Altake. Please look for him in these places. I believe that you might find him there.
Leave it to us. We'll find Rue for sure.
Wakukao Shoal, Oina Beach, and Aotake Plains. Forgive my forwardness, but I do not think these are places where a child should go.
That is true, but these are his favorite spots.
It was at Aotake Plains that Rue encountered the Great Thunderbird, wasn't it?
Yes, when we were together, he would often talk about the times he went fishing with Ippei by the shore at Wakukao, and how he would pick seashells at Oina with Sayo and the Kama family's boy.
Sayo, that loudmouth. She always talks about the world outside the Sea of Fog. We should have left her outside the fog with nothing but 3 days' rations, just like our forebears used to. If we had, Kama wouldn't have ended up like that either.
This is all past tense now. There's nothing more to be said. I must continue making preparations for the Thunderbird's descent. I leave the rest to you.
As you wish.
Looks like we gotta go look for Rue again, huh? According to what they said earlier, Rue could be at Wakukao Shoal, Oina Beach, or Aotake Plains. Ugh, why are all these names so annoying to remember?
The location closest to us is...
Seems like it should be Wakukao Shoal, right? Well then, guess that's where we're starting. Paimon feels cheated though. Rue asked us to come here, and now the people here want us to look for him.
Who knows, Paimon? There might be treasures.
Well, if you say so, Lumine, let's do it! We've got the Maushiro already anyway, as long as it doesn't disappear for no reason again. No sign of Rue anywhere. It's just like before. Who knows if this person has any leads for us?
Oh, this? Well, the secret to fishing is patience. No, it's not boring at all. I love fishing.
He sounds like he's talking to someone.
The fish don't sing, but if you sing to them, I'm sure they can hear you. Not that this means they wouldn't eat you too, of course. No problem. Once you're older, I'll teach you how to fish. But when you grow up, you've got to teach me the secret of the Ashine script. I mean, this is knowledge that only gets passed through the priestly families. You know, your family. For example, the words on those rocks.
Wow, it appeared!
Huh, to think that Ashine's script had this kind of power. Perhaps it's related to the ley lines in some way. How unexpected. You're right. The previous priest did have a sense of humor, huh? Why do I like fishing? Let me think about it for a moment. If I had to put my finger on it, it's because fishing makes me feel like this ocean and the rest of the world are connected. That way, this island doesn't feel so small, even though we can't escape the Sea of Fog. And, how should I say this? I guess I've also fished up all kinds of interesting stuff along the way. Like, for example, the knowledge that you love to sing in secret.
Oh, is he talking to Rue?
Well, if people can talk to dragons, then the ability to talk to non-existent people isn't too strange.
That's true, yeah. We've seen a lot of weird stuff while traveling together, huh? Well, let's head over to Oina Beach and see what we can find. Looks like he isn't here either. Oh, well, let's see if we can find any clues nearby. Hey there.
Oh, it's you, Rue.
Huh, that's the weird comment from before.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I've picked up every last seashell off this beach today.
I mean, wasn't our intention to give them to him, so...
Hey!
Ah,
Maybe I should say instead that you've come at just the right time. I mean, aren't there some rocks with that, whatever you call that rating again on them? I remember you saying that the order was very important, Rue. So if we mess the rock's order up...
they call it the Ishine script. I've said this before, I don't think this is a good idea. And Rue's here too. I don't think he'll let us do this, considering that he's the son of the priest and all. What? You want to join in?
See? I always knew Rue wasn't some stick in the mud. All right then, let's do this.
The group does something inexplicable.
This is real funny. Watching a future priest touch these stones just like the records say they should, and then coming up blank in the end.
I still think this isn't right.
Pfft, this guy's a bore. You know what? Let's not hang out with him. Let's go ruin delving with Kito and Kina.
Actually, Rue, since you're pretty friendly with those two, could you remind them to please take care of themselves? I too believe that there are green lands beyond the Sea of Fog, and humans too, and that there were people and history before the Thunderbird came. But someone needs to record the things that happened in our village.
You're such a killjoy. You know what, Rue? You should grow older faster. If you were the priest, I'm sure you'd lead us all out of the Sea of Fog to see the outside world. I wonder, can I wait for that day to come? Ah, right. Kama said that he saw you at Octave Plains the other day. You've got to be careful over there. The fog's the thickest in that area. You'll fall off the cliff and that's the end for you.
If you really do have to go, take me with you.
That's right. Kama over here's got a brain like a rock, but he's no ordinary rock. He's got a sense of direction.
According to them, the stone's positions have been adjusted. Maybe it left some traces behind.
You know, Rue, would you like to come with me? I'm serious. The world outside this fog really does exist. I've seen people come in from the outside. Once there was someone who came to the island, lost their way in the fog, and injured themselves in a fall as a result. That person told me all sorts of things about the outside world. He said that he came from an island on the other side of the sea. There's no fog there, only rolling green lands, a blue sky, and a golden sun. He said that the Thunderbird always flies from our island to his, and it was the sight of the Thunderbird in flight that made him want to come over and see what it's like here. I know, right? I found it really mysterious too. So how about it then? Want to come with me? This place is just too stifling. Grandpa Mata isn't a bad person, but he just isn't willing to doubt our ancestors' words. But as for me, I want to go see what the outside world is like. Anyway, I hate the idea of offering people to the Thunderbird.
And I'm sure the Thunderbird probably hates it too. Well, about Kama, that's true, huh? If we left him alone here... but I get it. If you've decided to stay, then I'm sure this place will become a better one thanks to you.
Still no sign of Rue anywhere. They mentioned the Outtica plates, didn't they? Let's go over there first. Huh, it's Rue!
If I sing here, no one will discover me, right? Maybe I should go deeper inside.
That looked like Rue! Ooh, looks like there's another Thunderbird statue here. Come on, Lumine, let's give our feather a try.
Curious tunes, tiny human. Afraid not of thunder and storms?
Rue seems to be talking to someone. Ah, he's gone. And that's a swing and a miss. Strange, that looked like Rue, but wasn't the Rue we were looking for. Ah, Paimon's so confused. Well, guess we should head back to that altar, huh? Everyone's gone!
Well, what was I expecting?
We've met Baka Tanuki on the other islands before. Could this all be a big trick of theirs? Oh, now Paimon's getting angry!
Let's take stock of the situation first, shall we?
Well, of course. If we have to keep trudging through all this cloud and fog, it had better be worth it.
So, we've got the Maushiro.
Even though we don't know if it'll disappear or not. Hopefully we can get it back to Miss Sumida this time.
There's a person here who looks a lot like Kama.
He looks like him, and he's also got the name to match. Very suspicious.
Time passes strangely on Tsurumi Island.
Now that you mention it. When we spoke to Rue, it felt really weird, like time was passing differently for him and us. Oh, right! Auntie met Ryuuji and Roald, didn't he?
The people here can't seem to see us.
Is that so? Paimon did get a weird feeling as well when we tried talking to them. They didn't even look at us at all. So rude. That's all right. Thinking is so tiring.
I was the only one doing the thinking, though.
That's not true. Paimon tried her best. Yep, let's go back and look for Miss Sumida. If we meet Kama along the way, let's ask him some questions as well. Wait a moment.
Right, we need to check real quick.
Yep, we've got to make sure that we've still got that Maushiro. If not, this trip's gonna be a wash as well.
You and Paimon confirmed the contents of your luggage. The Maushiro is most certainly still there.
That's great. I didn't go missing this time. Alrighty then, back to Miss Sumida's we go.
Oh, you're back! I really hope you brought the Maushiro this time, or else my novel will never get written!
Oh, come on. A commission at this level is a piece of cake for us. Come on, Lumine, let's show her the Maushiro we found. Let's finish this commission, get paid, and head over to Kiminami Restaurant for a good meal. Wait a moment. Paimon feels like she's had this conversation before. Is it just Paimon's imagination?
The Maushiro is in my hands.
And it's good that it is, too.
Is this it? Is this how I, Sumida, will obtain the Maushiro? The Maushiro! It's the key to writing the Chronicles of the Sea of Fog, working title. So this is a Maushiro. You know, I can't help but feel a bit disappointed.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking that it lacks, you know, that sense of destiny. This is an artifact retrieved from the wreckage of a civilization from which no laughter or song has been heard for thousands of years. To think that I would get my hands on it so easily.
If you're not satisfied, you can go to Tsurumi Island yourself.
That's right! It took a lot of effort for us to get this! Don't you make it out to be some simple matter.
Sorry. As expected of the legendary Lumine.
What about Paimon, huh?
And the renowned Paimon. I mean, you completed a commission that even famed adventurers and detectives could not, and so smoothly at that. Impressive! Yes, very impressive. You know, I was even thinking of changing the name of my novel from The Chronicles of the Sea of Fog to The Tales of Lumine and Paimon. Lumine and Paimon, Paimon and Lumine... It doesn't feel like it rolls off the tongue very well. I think my editor might reject it. Oh, I know! Why don't you change your names to Fog and Sea respectively?
Huh?
What?
I was kidding! Just kidding! I mean, getting back on topic, even highly experienced Outlander mercenaries couldn't get this Maushiro. It's just absolutely amazing that it came into your hands this way! Even Shinzen, widely regarded as the strongest character in the Three Young Nobles, would be no match for you. Of course, a small minority believes that Hakushisai is stronger still, but if they read the work that preceded that, the prison official...
Ugh. Please, spare me the flattery. Well, is the commission complete then?
I suppose.
You suppose?
Well, truth be told, I'd like to hear about your adventures on Tsurumi Island. It must have taken some twists and turns for you to get a hold of the Maushiro, right? I'm sure that some of those parts might be worth writing about.
Actually, we've got some questions that we'd like to discuss as well.
You tell Sumida about your last 2 days' worth of adventures.
Is that how it is? Even though Tsurumi Island has already been destroyed, certain people and periods of time will play back at abnormal speeds, just like wraiths might. Not to mention how the passage of time within the fog is very different from how it might pass in the outside world.
We haven't actually talked about that yet.
But those people are not ghosts in the traditional sense, but are instead occurrences being replayed over and over, and so they do not notice the visiting protagonist. Amidst all this, a mysterious boy.
The protagonist?
So, those who took the commission in the past could not retrieve the Maushiro because they received a fake ghost Maushiro instead! I see! So that's how it is! I understand now! You know what? I think you two have some writing talent. This is very interesting indeed, but some aspects of this story are quite rigid and unconducive to the development of this setting, still.
Setting? What's that?
Don't worry about it. I think that with some time and some polish, this story will definitely sell well. Aratani should like this sort of story too. Maybe I'll even get a contract with Yai Publishing House! My days of professional writing are coming soon, aren't they? No, I haven't even decided on a pen name yet. Or maybe using my real name like Mr. Nine does might be cooler. Ooh, Sumida. No, I don't know about that one.
Sumida's been mumbling all kinds of gibberish for a while now. Is she alright?
This is so hard. That's right. My commission isn't over just yet. Whether true or false, I still require more stories concerning Tsurumi Island. And if possible, I'd like to know more about him. About Kama, that is. I mean, he's my reliable partner, isn't he? We've sailed through wild storms just like the legendary Akodameke Zaimon and Janome Gonfei.
You mean the time you threw up some purple goop?
Oh, well, the legends do say that Akodameki was saved by Genome many times. In any case, I want to learn more about Kama. I mean, he's just got that keeping his true power a mystery only to join the protagonist party in the closing phases of the story feel to him, you know? I think it'll be well worth writing such a character into the plot.
He certainly is very mysterious.
I accept your commission. I'd like to explore Tsurumi Island further as well.
Thank you! Well then, please continue your exploration of Tsurumi Island.
Only one conclusion remains, and thus it must be true.
Maybe the writer's life is not my destiny after all.
It seems that we could count on you after all, Lumine.
Shh! Come on now, these less than legal dealings need not be spoken of so loudly.
You can, skip the renouns bit.
With your help, the ceremony is sure to go great this time.
This is the final day. Let him wander for a little while longer.
I've said this before, I don't think this is a good idea. It's been so long since I've seen him.
That's just weird. And the priests on the drawings up there don't look like Grandpa Mata or the others at all.
And not a word of this to Grandpa Mata or Granny Una.
Sayo, that loudmouth. She always talks about the world outside the Sea of Fog.
It's because fishing makes me feel like this ocean and the rest of the world are connected.
Curious tunes, tiny human. Afraid not of thunder and storms?
You tell Sumida about your last 2 days' worth of adventures.